Hi everyone, our journal page today, and I'm going to begin my page with black and white elements that are going to be in the background. And I've drew a flower that I want to be, well, this is, sorry, I have a sore throat. This is going to be my focal image, and you don't have to have this kind of a flower. I just drew it on tracing paper. I knew I wanted a symmetrical flower, so I've used a tracing paper and drew it so I can make it, because this is translucent, I can trace the other side and basically make symmetrical shapes. And that's the way I go about everything that I plan. If it's a stencil or any kinds of elements, I'm doing them on tracing paper until I'm satisfied with the shape, and then I will copy it and use as template. So I will also have it for the future. Like I have it here on a white paper, printer paper, I think. So this one, it's the same flower that I have here, and I just went with and done it with a black permanent marker and done some doodling. So first of all, I want this flower, and we'll see. Haven't decided on placement yet, but before I'm gluing this to my page, I want to add more elements to the background, and I'm going to use this stamp and archival ink, which is permanent ink. So I'm going to stamp this randomly on my page. I like that to have elements that are going outside the edges. Yeah, so this is this. Now I had, after I've made these flowers, I had another idea that you can also do, is to take all kinds of these pages from a coloring book and just cut some kind of flower out of them, and it would be very interesting because they already have all kinds of doodles. And of course it depends what kind of effect you want, if you want something like this or if you want something geometric, more geometric like this. So it could be very interesting to use this kind of thing. So now for gluing down my flowers, I think I'll go like this. I'm going to use just a glue stick. I don't think it needs more than that. Oops. So one here, another one, okay, and last. Let's overlap a little bit, it will seem more organic, I think. And I think I will move this also, just a little overlapping. Okay, so I've got this. I want to draw some stem for this, and again I'm going to take a permanent marker. No, this is too thick. I'm going to see if I've got something else. Maybe this one. I'm doing this now because I know I'm going to have texture on top, and it will be a little bit harder to draw anything on top of the texture. So that's why I'm putting it this right now. Okay, so now I want to add some texture, and I'm going to use the white backing from a paper napkin. I'm only going to use one layer. It's enough. What I love about this is that once I'm going to glue it, it's going to be transparent, it's going to give me texture, and I'm planning to spray on top of it, and it's a very good way to help spread the sprays. It doesn't have to be sprays, it can be, you can use watercolors or anything watery. So now I'm just going to take white glue and let's take a white brush so it will be faster, and I'm just going to cover the whole page with the glue. Okay, so got the glue all over, and now for the paper napkin, and this is up to you how much texture you want, and I'm just putting it down here very loosely, like so. So I will have wrinkles, all kinds of them. Okay, and now I'm just squishing it in, and I'm going to go over it with the white glue, and everything will be sealed and in place, and it needs to, of course, it needs to dry. Now I'm using another brush. This is a soft brush, and flat and soft brush, because I don't want to tear my paper napkin. And basically now it really doesn't matter how you go about it, just make sure you have glue, enough glue, and that you use the flat of the brush so you won't tear your paper napkin. And you need to feel that it slides and not dragging. Now you can also use rice paper if you have it. Tissue paper is less transparent than the paper napkin or the rice paper, but it gives more texture, so up to you. But I think everyone has paper napkins, and certainly the backing of paper napkins. I'm always saving the backing for all kinds of projects. So I'm just making sure I'm going over everything, that I don't have standing in the air wrinkles, and that everything is glued down. Now it will take a little bit to dry. It has a lot of glue here, but that's fine. I think everything is in place. So now I'm going to give it a lot of blast from my heat tool, and I'll be back. I'm back. So Now I want to add some color. I've got my ink, my sprays. They are made from gel food coloring with water, few drops and water. Just test it, and if it's vibrant enough, then I'm pleased. If not, I'm adding more gel food coloring. Now you don't have to have this kind of sprays. Any kind of sprays or watercolors or even chalk pastels, if you are scraping them and having powder and then spraying with water, brushos, magicals, whatever that will spread on here. So now I can spray on my page, or I can control it with just taking a paintbrush and doing something like this. It's really up to you what you want to use and how you want to do it. And so this is one of the things. Now of course spraying is faster and easier, but sometimes you want to control the areas. So I've put some brown here and now some dark red, going for more red here. I'm just playing another kind of red, and I'm also going with it on top of the brown here, just because it's too, I don't know, anemic. I've got some orange, and as you can see, I'm overlapping and everything is mixing, and more of the yellow all over because it just brightens everything. Now everything here is soaked and wet, and I have puddles here. This needs to be completely dry before I continue. I'll be back. I'm back. So this is dry. I've got gold acrylic paint here, and I want to add details to my background. I've got this stencil that now again I'm going to go about it randomly on the page. Don't know how much you can see. You will able to see of the gold on top. That's the problem with metallics. You can hardly see them on video, but I will try and tilt the page and we'll see if you, maybe then you will be able to see what I've done. So again, as I said, quite randomly going around and adding detail. I think that maybe when I started this page, I had the idea of some kind of effect like a sari, so some kind of like crumpled organza. I don't know, a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of texture and gold accents in several places. I don't know, something like that. So even I can hardly see the gold, but it's there, and I really hope you can see some of it. Let's put just random dots in several places. Yeah, something like that. And now I want to make my flowers more prominent on my page. All the wrinkles, just pushed some of it back, and that's the thing. If I tried to make the flowers on top of the texture, it would be very difficult. Right now The only thing I'm doing is just like fixing in several places, so I don't need to draw the whole flower and make sure it goes on top of all this texture. Just fixing some of the lines, that's it. So I'm going to continue doing this, going over the black lines, and when I'm finished, I'll be back. I'm back. So, went over all the black lines. Now I want to add more shimmer to my page. Now, if you have all kinds of micas, if it's in spray or powder, you probably can use that. I'm going to go over, I want to just pick the texture. So it's either using like gilding wax, rub and buff, or if you don't have those kind of things, I've made my own. These are made from metallic oil pastels with coconut oil. I've got a video showing how to make them, and I really like them. They work nicely. Of course, it's not the exact quality of gilding wax, but it's very, very close, so I really like it. And of course, it's cheap to make. So I'm just going with my finger over the texture and picking up the texture, all the wrinkles, and of course the more wrinkles you have, the more you will see. Now once again, metallic, it doesn't show quite well in the video. I will again try to tilt the page so you will see what I've done, and also that you will see all the details, the ones in the back that we started with, and all the other stuff. So quite randomly in several places I'm picking up the texture. And the other thing that I want to add here is some, I want to darken the edges, and I don't want to get into anything more wet. So I'm going to use some lipstick. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use with a brush, and just smear it like this. It just blends nicely, and as I said, it's not wet. I don't want anything more wet here, and I can go in and let it blend more into the page. So basically that's what I'm going to do now. Go around my page and darken the edges. So I'll be back. I'm back. So finished with the edges. I still feel like something is missing, so I'm going to stamp a little bit on top here, and I just picked some I don't know, ornament, and I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black. Don't know how much of it will be seen because of the texture. Here, something like that. If I had a gilding wax, or not gilding wax, if I had embossing powder, gold embossing powder, I would probably would have done something on top, but I don't, and I can I'm quite satisfied with what's going on here. Very simple page, but I've managed to make what I wanted. If I don't know, feel like sorry, yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's it. Now I'm satisfied. I will bring it closer so you can see. Just trying to remove here without creating any damage. I'll fix it later. Okay, let's see. So here it is, all the texture and some gold accents in the back. And this is it, that's my page. So thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.